Today I freaked up by making my grandma think I died while masturbating. NSFW. Because of certain circumstances, I've been doing online college while living with my grandma. It's honestly been so fun. She's amazing and even helped me dye my hair bright red last week. This plays an important role in the story. Usually to relieve stress, I pet the kitty. I didn't bring any toys with me, so I had to improvise. I resorted to a method that I've been doing long before I bought my first toy, the bathtub faucet. Basically, you position your body beneath the faucet and let the water hit your clit. It works wonders. Ladies, I would have highly recommended this if it weren't for today. So tonight, I told my gran I'm taking a bath. I double-checked to make sure the door was locked and went to town. I guess because of the water being close to my ears, I couldn't hear my grandma. Unbeknownst to me, my grandma had a key to the bathroom. She got worried I wasn't responding and decided to check on me. She opened the door and started screaming, which resulted in me screaming back. Apparently, my hair color started to run and made it look like I was in a pool of blood. My grandma freaked out, ran towards me and started shaking me. I had to reassure her that I'm completely okay. I made up a lie saying I put conditioner in my hair and had to let it soak in the tub. She seemed pretty shaken up and had to take a pill to calm down. I'm currently writing this while sitting next to her. I feel so terrible for scaring this poor, old woman. I never found out what she wanted originally. On top of that, I didn't even get to orgasm. I added a pig to show what the scene looked like. Pig. Too long. Didn't read. I scared my grandma into thinking I was dead while I was masturbating because of my red hair. The doodle is what carries this story above and beyond. I like the way grandma is so shocked she doesn't even have a face left. I'd be shocked if she did have a face because that'd be the back of her head. Then she's got a very interesting bald patch. Or she's sharing her body with Voldemort. Don't be rude, she's old. My friend just dyed their hair red. She also hangs with her grandma a lot. This is also a burner ACC. God, I hope I'm wrong. My friend just died. Don't worry, she's just masturbating in the bathtub and can't hear you. r/angry upvote. Today I freaked up by washing my butt. So earlier today, I decided to clean up a little around the house. I was bored and I had some time before my fiancé got home from work. In the process I got a bit sweaty, so I hopped in the shower. It was a fantastic shower. Up until a point. I had washed my hair, face, and most of my body. Maintaining proper shower etiquette, I washed my butt last. The water was hot and steamy and, well, I decided to turn the jet on. Anyway, I'm there sort of giving myself a bidet, seriously nothing XXX, just getting clean, and about to finish up when things got ungood. The next thing I knew, my fiancée poked her head through the shower curtain to surprise me. Yup. And she got a face full of me, bent over, hands on my butt, letting the water jet spray right on my butthole. Needless to say, she was shocked. She said sorry, and backed away quickly. As she did, she backed into the toilet and fell over. Alarmed by the commotion, I grabbed open the shower curtain to see what happened. But I moved too fast and I too slipped in the tub and brought half the curtain down with me. Too long. Didn't read. Washing my butt caused my fiancé and I to end up on the floor bruised and in pain. But laughter followed. Edit. we are both okay, and after some desperate explaining on my part we can laugh about it. Also, we don't have a handheld shower head. Gonna have to change that. Thanks for the awards everyone. That cracked me up. Was that a pun? Yeah, I guess it was kinda shitty. Well, that went down the rabbit hole. I think he put it up the rabbit hole. These are really crappy all. Today I freaked up by lovingly laying out some clothes for my GF to wear the next morning. Happened 2 weeks ago. GF said she'd come stay at mine, but had work early the next day and didn't have clean clothes. Obviously I was super happy and not wanting her to head home before coming over, losing valuable time with the woman I love. I reassured her that she had clothes here that she'd left previously. So I went to my drawers and found her a set of clothes, and laid them out on the chair in my room. She arrived, we had a lovely evening, dinner, sex, movie, cuddles, sleep. The next morning she's up at 6:30 and I go downstairs to make her a coffee. Bring it back upstairs, and she's standing in my room holding the sexy black panties that were part of the ensemble I laid out for her. These aren't my pants. WH. What? These aren't my pants. I don't really need to go on. Needless to say, I died inside and visibly outside too. She left for work shaken and upset. They really weren't her pants. I've never cheated on her, so I know they are either from a previous partner, we've been together 1 year, or there's been a laundrette mishap or something. But I totally understand how she felt. 2 weeks have passed and we've worked through it. We have a few theories, but we'll never truly know where they came from. TLDR. Gave my GF some sexy black pants to wear, thinking they were hers. They were not. Edit, I'm English. When we say pants, we mean underpants, not trousers. I'm sorry this has proved a difficult concept for so many people. I hope adding clarity to this edit will bring peace to those with troubled minds. Good night. One time I was folding laundry when I found a pair of underwear with #no angel on the back. I said, "Whose underwear are these?" And my husband was like, "I swear I don't know." Poor guy thought I was accusing him of cheating. I wasn't accusing him, I was legitimately confused. I looked and they were my size and brand. Turns out when I bought them they were folded up, so I thought they were plain black. I had no idea they had that printed on the back. I'm an idiot. LOL. My wife was on a warpath a couple months ago because she found someone else's panties. After she finally sent the picture, I sent her the invoice for the order we put in. Pregnancy brain is real, yo. Pregnancy brain is brutal. Fesh, why didn't you clean the bathroom sink? Ha. Honey. You said you were going to clean it. What, I'm 9 months pregnant in a freaking wheelchair, what makes you think I would do it? Because you texted me that you were going to clean the sink while I was at work. Looking through phone, no I didn't. Oh. Sorry. Why am I so stupid right now? Begin sobbing for the 4th time today. Today I freaked up by mourning the death of my mom. Happened just over 12 hours ago. This one leans more to the sad side, so I apologize in advance. I work out of state and happen to be working nights right now, in Texas. My mother had multiple seizures yesterday morning and needed CPR, and they are in Washington. My brother lives with my parents, due to the fact that my father had developed dementia, and my mother needed help. Brother had to perform the CPR, while my father ran to the neighbor's house, she's a nurse, to get help. Mom was taken to the hospital and was examined. My brother and I spoke about it, and he said he would keep me informed. Throughout yesterday, he told me she is fine, but seemed confused. All of my updates came through my brother. This is the important detail. The doctors determined she had a heart attack and were still trying to figure out why, but for the time being, she was stable. I went to bed in the morning and fell asleep. I woke up to my phone blowing up with calls and texts from family, friends, and others. I was still in a bit of a fog, trying to figure out what was going on. My cousin, who I am closest with, called and told me that my mother had passed away. If anyone called to tell me this news, she was the best person who wasn't my brother to inform me. I sat there, trying to process everything as she explained to me what happened. We spoke for about a half hour. I started going through all my texts, reading from people paying their respects. Over 20 people giving the obligatory sorry for your loss and let me know if you need anything. Yet, nothing from my brother. And he's the emergency contact. I figured he was in shock, as he doesn't do well in these situations. I was upset that he didn't call me, but given the situation and the fact that he is so close with my mom, I forgave him. Everyone grieves differently, and I wouldn't be surprised if he had just frozen and forgotten to make the call. I decided to wait a little bit. I know I'm direct family, but he had to be busy dealing with everything. I received a text from him while going for a walk to process everything. He said she is getting ready to go into surgery, and he would keep me informed of anything new. I thought it was strange that he texted me nearly an hour after finding out, but I reasoned it with my being in a poor signal area. The text must have just come through now, and he had to have sent it earlier. My mom must have died during surgery. I called my brother, and asked how he's doing. He said he was fine, but seemed a little quizzical. I told him I just heard, and he asked about what. I got a call saying that mom had passed. What? No. Didn't you get my text about, wait, did you see this on Facebook? No, but Shannon told me she did. Dad posted something. And it clicked. For both of us. My brother explained that my father was confused in the morning because he couldn't find my mother. He had completely forgotten about her going to the hospital. Furthermore, my brother said that he was crying, hours later, about mom dying in the hospital. My brother had to remind him that she was stable and in the hospital, but they weren't allowed inside due to COVID-19. He said all of this went down right before noon, about 10 minutes before the first calls and texts came in. It turns out my father had announced her death over Facebook. Relieved and bewildered, I headed to Facebook to correct this information. It turns out I also exposed the family secret. Nobody was aware my father had dementia, even though I've known for over 2 years. My brother told me that mom would be upset that everyone knew. I told him she has a choice. They learn of his dementia now, or wonder why she's alive after he told the world she had passed on. So I guess today I freaked up in 2 ways. 1. I was led to believe my mom died by getting the information second-hand instead of calling my brother immediately, and 2. I exposed my dad's dementia to the world. Too long. Didn't read. Mom went into the hospital. Brother said he would tell me everything as he's right there. Dad announced her death to the world, and I had to expose his dementia to explain why she's still alive. What a day. Today I freaked up by sharing a cigarette with a homeless man and getting a lung infection a few days later. Today I freaked up by sharing a cigarette with a random homeless man and getting a lung infection a few days later. A few days ago I was pretty drunk and my friend and I were going on a walk downtown. We see the local homeless man who occasionally pulls his dick out at the skate park and start to chat him up. My friend gives him a water and some money, but all I have is a cigarette. I offer to share one and we do, which in retrospect, was a terrible idea BC of COVID and whatnot, and normally I'm very good at following the guidelines, however drunk me forgot all about them. Afterwards, my friends tells me it was probably a bad idea. I forgot about it until today. I can't stop coughing up phlegm. I have no other COVID symptoms but DW. I'm getting tested anyway, and I'm seeing the doctor tomorrow. I'm 99% sure it's from the man BC. I have been just staying at home and not doing anything dumb like that. Anyways, don't be stupid like me. Too long, didn't read. I shared a cigarette with a homeless man when I was drunk and got a lung infection. Today I freaked up with my rechargeable vibrator. NSFW. So like last Friday, my two sisters went out to a friendsgiving. I share a room with both sisters. I don't get much privacy at all. So on a good day, when both my sisters leave, I like to spice things up and masturbate. I recently bought a rechargeable vibrator to help. But anyways, I'm doing my thing and having fun. I wanted to clean my vibrator and put it away, but my vibrator did not turn off. Like it won't turn off at all. I was afraid that my mom was gonna bust through the door and find me with a vibrator in my hand. I legit was there for 30 minutes panicking because the vibrator wouldn't turn off at all. My fingers were cramping up. You know how hard it is to turn off a vibrator that keeps vibrating. I was panicking thinking, OMG, this thing won't turn off. How can I turn it off? Fortunately for me, my mom nor anyone else entered my room. I went on the internet to see how TIFU can turn this vibrator off. I plugged the vibrator to the charger and it finally stopped vibrating. Relieved face. Problem solved. Relieved face. Nope. Today I was in the living room on Reddit when I hear someone yelling my name. I went to the room and guess WTF I heard. Upside down face. My freaking vibrator. My sister was like, do you hear that? Do you know where that's coming from? Is that outside? It can't be outside, that's in the room, right? My face went white as hell. I took it and ran out of the room to another room to try to turn the mother freaking vibrator off. Now my older sister knows I have a vibrator and I'm scared the vibrator is gonna go off at any time. Confounded face. Too long, didn't read. I had a vibrator that couldn't turn off. I turned it off and it randomly went on 2 days later. My sister found out. Today I freaked up by accidentally playing porn through my Bluetooth speaker. I don't know if I want to laugh or cry. LMFAO. So I have a big tower speaker in my living room that I use for music, and I have a pair of Galaxy Buds that I use when I'm not trying to use my speaker. I pulled up the hub on my phone thinking I had disconnected from the speaker and connected to my Galaxy Buds instead. I'm watching one of my favorite videos, about to get into it when I notice the sound is super quiet. So I start cranking up the volume and then I realize it isn't coming from my earbuds. It's coming from the freaking speaker downstairs. It doesn't help that the video didn't start out quiet. Loudly crying face. I'm sure my neighbors heard BC. The walls are super thin and I'm so embarrassed right now. Loudly crying face. Moral of the story: always check your Bluetooth if you're gonna watch porn. BC. I'm so shook this actually happened. LMAO. Too long, didn't read. I was watching porn but didn't realize I was connected to the speaker downstairs and now I'm literally about to move away. LMAO. Today I freaked up by accidentally showing my 5-year-old niece a hanging nun. My sister asked if I could babysit her 2 stepkids, 5F and 2.5M, for the night and I said sure, why not. It was 9 p.m. I got the kids dressed in their PJs, brushed their teeth, tucked them in, and read them a story before heading back upstairs. I was feeling a horror movie type of night, so I put on The Nun, sat back with some popcorn for the night and pressed play. What my sister didn't tell me was that her 5-year-old likes to get out of bed to say goodnight a few more times. The scene comes in the movie where the nun ties a rope around her neck, then jumps out of the window and shows her lifeless body swaying back and forth. Mind you, I have the lights completely off, so the only source of light is coming from the TV. The scene goes black and in the reflection I see a small child standing there completely still. I scream, turn around, and throw my popcorn at whatever demon child is behind me. I didn't gently throw it either, I'm talking full-on football star throw directly at her face. She falls backwards and starts wailing. I tuck her back into bed. She didn't seem scared of what she just watched, only that I basically punted an entire tub of popcorn at her. The next day my sister is blowing up my phone asking me what the hell I let her watch. She's made a family portrait of her entire family all hanging by a noose. My sister asks her, "Hey sweetie, what is that?" and she explains one by one, "That's mommy, that's daddy, that's auntie. That's a rope on their neck to swing with. I'm no longer allowed to babysit." TLDR, my niece snuck up behind me when I thought she was in bed. I was watching The Nun, and she saw the nun jump out of the window and sway back and forth on the rope, dead as can be. The next day she drew a family portrait of everyone hanging by a noose. I'm not allowed to babysit anymore. Today I freaked up by moaning Big Flopper in bed. NSFW. This happened about a week ago, but I only just thought to post it here. Recently, I learned of this meme Big Flopper. It's just about a caracal cat named Gregory. The same day I learned about this meme, I was having sex with my wife. Everything was going normally, until I ejaculated. In the middle of doing so, I moaned Big Flopper. My wife was confused at first, then started crying. Our cat jumped up on our bed while I was ejaculating, and this made me think of Big Flopper. And without thinking, I said his name. Not too long later, I helped her calm down, and she stopped crying. We haven't talked about all of this since then, and I'm not sure how to explain it to her. I think she thinks I'm cheating on her, and I have no idea how I can even bring it up. Too long, didn't read, our cat jumped up on our bed as I ejaculated, and thought of a cat meme. Today I freaked up by getting horny. This happened yesterday. We were just goofing around when I noticed we had an unopened bottle of hot sauce. I love hot sauce, but me being an idiot asked him to try it with me. I went first. Put one drop on my finger and licked it off. He put several drops on his fingers and licked it. It was so hot. Both sexy and far too spicy. Hours later I'm feeling a bit frisky. And as these things tend to go, hands wandered, fingers went places. When all of a sudden my burning desire morphed into an inferno in my hoo-ha. This genius hadn't washed his hands nearly enough. But don't worry. When I told him it's burning, he leapt up and said, "I got you baby," and disappeared. When he came back he handed me a damp towel. What the heck is he expecting me to do with this? Stare at it? Wave it at my hooch? Fricking pray over it in the hopes that some soggy god will take pity on my fiery misfortune and douse it in aloe? Long story short, he tossed the hot sauce, and we will never speak of this again. Too long, didn't read fiancé got hot sauce in my vagina. Today I freaked up by provoking an actual hacker into deactivating my internet. So at around 5 p.m. I decided to get back into some Anarchy realms on Minecraft like I used to, since I've been finding other realms lackluster in content and players. After about an hour I found a decent Anarchy realm called Stonecraft. There were a few people on, and I asked if hacking was allowed, to which someone said no. I asked why, and he said it was unfair. After a little of back and forth, he says, would it be fair if I dose you? Small red flag, but might just be a 9-year-old sheeing around. But then he said my state, which could be a lucky guess, but then said my city. At this point I'm freaking out, because I just wanted to freak around and have never met an actual hacker / whatever before, but since people can see my email, he might have just did some digging, I don't know. He then goes on to say that he can shut down my freaking router. Big red flag. He then goes ask, so I know I'm running out of time. I start trying to find a paper or pen, but before I could, my internet shut down and I got disconnected. His username is Untoxic3. I am currently writing this using data on my phone, an hour after the incident, not knowing what to do. Too long, didn't read, got in an argument with a hacker and now he deactivated my internet.